Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. And today on Impact or Hit, we have a good show here today on Impact or Hit. You know, yesterday on Dynamite or Might, we saw Taylor Aragon, or can't say her kin name right or last name right, and Arrow beat Seth Rollins in a handicap match. And Seth Rollins' goal to become the TWF heavyweight fighter for the free with time hasn't happened yet, Joey Styles says. No, it has not, Jonathan Coachman says. And we do know that Seth Rollins is angry that he's not going to be the TWF heavyweight fighter anytime soon. I can tell you one thing right now, Joey and Jonathan, Seth Rollins is not the only man angered that he's not the TWF heavyweight fighter. That would also be Drew McIntyre, who is also angered he is not the TWF heavyweight fighter as well. You know? Well, that's right, Joey Styles said. You would be right about that, Aiden English. You would be right about that. And another man who would also want to be the TWF, heavyweight heavyweight fighter, and that would be Braun Strowman. Oh, fuck. And that would also be Braun Strowman, who lost the TWF heavyweight winnings to Asuka not too long ago, and he'll do whatever he needs to do, to win it back. All right, Braun Strowman says, I think today is a flawless day that I can get my TWF heavyweight winnings back. You see, I could be like Seth Rollins, and I could bitch and rant about the unfairness of it. But I know that Asuka is the TWF heavyweight fighter, and I want her to come down here now, because I got a lot of onlook for her, but I also want my TWF heavyweight winnings back. And here comes Asuka now, folks, into the ring now. So, Braun, you want to fight me for the TWF heavyweight winnings? Stand up. Can't lean against the rope because you can't stand up. And you want to fight me for the TWF heavyweight winnings? Well, and the way I look at it, if me and you have that match, you do know at the end of the day that I will beat you, and I'll still be the TWF heavyweight fighter. And that is what it's going to be. Well, you got lucky, Asuka. You sprayed that Mr. Whatever in my Lear. And that's the only way. Now, come on, stand up. That's the only way you beat me, for the TWF heavyweight winnings. And I want that strap now. Oh, well, if you truly want me to beat you again, then the only thing you have to do, then is, you're going to lose. Well, I do like that kind of a match. And Asuka, you want to fight Braun Strowman? You want to put your TWF heavyweight winnings on stake here today against Braun Strowman, also knowing that you also have to fight Arrow and Taylor Aragon, who is the Galled in the Boundary winner. Yeah, I understand. And that you could lose the TWF heavyweight winnings back to Braun Strowman. That could happen. Yeah, that could happen. But I think it's highly unlikely it will happen. Alright, I'll make the match then. Well, the main overseer of the TWF, Ric Flair, made the match, Joey Styles says. And I hope that Asuka knows what she's doing. Because if not, Asuka could lose the TWF heavyweight winnings. Well, I hope Asuka knows what she's doing too, Jonathan Coachman says. Because even if she gets past... Stand up! Because even if she gets past Braun Strowman, or even if Braun Strowman gets past her, he still has to deal with Arrow. He still has to deal with Taylor. This match is for the TWF heavyweight winnings. First, he is Braun Strowman, and he is the TWF heavyweight fighter. She is the TWF heavyweight fighter, Braun Strowman. Well, the Fight Lord just fell right out of the ring. You know, like that. Meaning, well, Asuka's coming in, and Braun Strowman is going to pick her up, and Braun Strowman just body slammed the 3-time WWE woman heavyweight fighter, and a 1-time woman world heavyweight fighter, and the 4-time WWE women tag team fighter, Asuka. Yeah, that is true. Braun Strowman is having his way of Asuka right now, Joey Styles says. Yes, Braun Strowman is having his way of Asuka right now, and Asuka is in a bind, and we don't know if we'll see her back in the WWE, or if she'll still be on Raw or back on SmackDown again. Jonathan Coachman says. We won't know, Aiden English says, if Braun Strowman is taking Asuka likely and thinking he can smoothly beat Asuka, because he lost to Asuka, so he has to be wary of that mist that could come out of nowhere. Here comes Braun Strowman coming in. Asuka just spit ran his Lear. Braun Strowman went Lear first into the ring steeple. You were right, Aiden English. You're right about that. And now Asuka knocked down Braun Strowman. This is the now Asuka doll. And Asuka right now is now going to put Braun Strowman in the Asuka lock that she has beat sundriest men and sundry women with since she's been in the toy wrestling gathering since the end of 26 Between a FYL. Asuka's getting yielded, is going to yield Braun Strowman here, Joey Styles says. Will that happen? Jonathan Coachman said. Will Braun Strowman yield? Well, we know right now we can't see Aiden English says due to having that mist in his eyes, but would that be enough to beat him? I do not know. Braun Strowman ding, it's over. Here is your winner, and still the TWF heavyweight fighter, Asuka. And Asuka is still the TWF, heavyweight fighter. And sadly, Braun Strowman did not win back the TWF heavyweight winnings here today on Impact or Hit. Joey Styles says. No, that did not happen at all, Jonathan Coachman said. Braun Strowman got the mist in his eyes. He went head first into the ring steeple, and after that, it was mostly all over for him. If he was already blinded or knocked out, and now Asuka has now beaten Braun Strowman. Joey Styles says, yeah, that's what happened, Aiden English says. the mist in the eyes, Lear head first into the ring steeple. I think he was knocked out or whatever had gone on, but Oscar beat him, Jonathan Coachman said. Oscar is being the unbeatable, the unstoppable, and the unyieldable TWF heavyweight fighter. And Braun Strowman will not take anything away from him, due to him wanting to fight Oscar and not backing down. But at the end of the day, Oscar still beat him. And I guess what we can say is that Braun Strowman was not ready for Oscar, Aiden English says. Alright, everyone, we'll take it away now to Tony Stand up! Stand up! We'll take it up to Tony Schiavone. Thank you, Joey Styles. I'm going to be talking with Braun Strowman here today. I'm going to be talking with Oscar here today on Impact or Hit. Alright, Oscar. Right now, you are still the TWF heavyweight fighter. And are you, by any luck, worried about Arrow or Taylor? You saw what happened out there, Tony Schiavone. You saw how I beat Braun Strowman. So I'm not worried about Arrow or Taylor. If Arrow wants to have his match with me, then I am not beating him. And if Taylor wants to yield her gals in the boundary winnings on me, I'll beat her too. You see, at the end of the day, I am not frightened or scared of Arrow or Taylor. And as far as Braun Strowman goes, I beat him. So Braun Strowman was not ready for Oscar, and neither is Arrow or Taylor, because I will beat them too. And I believe that Arrow is not ready for Oscar, and neither is Taylor. Well, Oscar, somehow, some way out of luck, you beat Braun Strowman, you beat King Caesar, and now you believe you'll be beating Arrow and Taylor. Yeah, I'll be beating Arrow, I'll be beating Taylor. Shit. Hey. And I'll beat any man or any woman who thinks that they're going to get in the ring and take away my TWF heavyweight winnings. Well, that's my talk with Oscar. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking. Thank you, Tony Schiavone. Thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Oscar here today on Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got it for Impact or Hit. Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. We hope you like Impact or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.